So, what are the lessons that I have learned through lockdown? I think one of them is a lesson that I needed to relearn. 10 years ago, when I had cancer, I had to learn, I think for the first time in my life, that I am not invincible. At other points, when I'd had things like colds or flu, I knew that I could go to the doctor or I could go to the chemist and pick something up and take it, and within a few days the symptoms would go and I'd feel much better. But cancer was a different thing. And yes, I had to depend on other people to help me more than on other occasions. But the strongest thing that I learned during that time was I had to totally rely upon God for His help. And I think the lockdown thing carries a similar lesson, that we are not invincible. I am not invincible. And this thing has made us realize that we don't have the answer. Governments, of course, have to do something about this and to be positive about what they're doing. So we will hear people saying things like, this won't beat us, we're going to beat this, we'll get through, we'll meet again, or whatever. And of course, that's great, and I'm sure that there will be some positive answers eventually to the present circumstances. But actually, at the base level, the fact is that we don't have the answer, not yet anyway, that we are not invincible. And it reminds me of a passage in the Bible that I think is a great one. It's in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, and it's a story about King Jehoshaphat. And this whole experience reminds me of his prayer that he prays in chapter 20 of 2 Chronicles. If I can read to you just a few verses. He stands up in front of the people and he prays this: O Lord, God of our fathers, are you not the God who is in heaven? You rule over all the kingdoms of the nations. Power and might are in your hand, and no one can withstand you. And then at the end of his prayer, he says this in verse 12. We do not know what to do, but our eyes are upon you. And I think the lesson really is, I am not invincible, we are not invincible, but we can turn our eyes towards God. Our prayer, my prayer, has had to be over and over again during this time. We don't know what to do, Lord, but our eyes are upon you.